Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, I'm coming to you from Studio B, and I want to say hello to Emily, that's in the main production room running the show today. It's really technology. I just love it. But as you well know, FYN here, we're self-quarantined. All of our reporters, all of our staff, and we only allow one person in the studio to work at a time. So we are taking this serious. I want you to look close this morning at the social media way you could follow the show, how you could send me an email, and I want you to pay attention to that, 706-889-9700. You can text me messages, you can text me pictures, or you can email me pictures. This is not going to be a sad day. And what I'm going to say first, and if you're new to the show, I will say first thing like 5 times, and you'll wonder which one is the first thing. But first thing this morning, I have to say to each and every one of you out there, thank you. My dad, and it's the way we believe, okay? I don't use this show. It's not going to be a sad show. I don't use this show as a format to preach. I really don't. I use it to talk politics and tell you who I like and don't like. Pretty simple. If you're new to the show, we will get into some politics today. I got to do that for Gerald. I'm going to do some politics for Gerald, okay? So anyhow, thank you. My dad went home to be with the Lord at 5:40 yesterday afternoon, okay? Until yesterday, I had both of my parents. I still have my mother this morning. Good morning, Mom. And Mom, by the way, if you're watching, I did have I had a haircut. I know I'm supposed to. Mom, if you're watching, I'm trying to lose weight and I'm going to get a haircut. I promise. But it's not essential. So the day I'm supposed to go get a haircut, and the day I'm supposed to go get a haircut, lady texts me and she says, I'm closed. So there you go, Mom. And then Lisa says, you want me to cut your hair? I said, hell no. Damn. No. Don't. That is a bad memory. Mom cut Dad's hair. We're going to get through that. Thank you. Oh, you are amazing out there. I appreciate you so much for all the love you poured out to my family in the last several days. And yesterday when I posted that Dad had gone on to be with the Lord and he can now breathe. Thank you so much. I just want to start the show with that. Now, I'm going to talk about at 9 to 10. So if I'm going to talk throughout the show about my dad, okay? But the first hour, I'm going to focus more on the virus, what it's doing to America, what it's doing to our families, and I'm going to get into some politics of it. But 9 to 10, so tell all the family and friends, 9 to 10. And, I'm going to do a tribute to my dad between 9 and 10, okay? Although I'm going to talk about him all morning between 9 and 10. I'm going to say this. All of you, many of you cousins and aunts and all of you out there, I can't leave anybody out, so don't feel I left anybody out this morning. I got 70-some pictures. I couldn't get everybody in, but let me say something. All of you told many stories. Most of them started out with Uncle Gerald. Okay. Many started out with Pop. Now, let me say this. This guy is a great American story. He is. And I'll get into that. And because this is something that where we're at in America today, and this is interesting because I understand you may think, well, I don't want to hear a story about your dad. And I got it. But where we're at right now in this country and where we have come from. Now, the other day I wrote a story and I just want I want to do 2 things. I'm going to take a little break and come back. I'm going to take a little break and come back and start on some other things because what I want to do, and I'll tell you what I'll do. But yes, the other day I wrote a little story. I called it Rocks in the Garden, right? Rocks in the Garden. Okay. And I use that story of how the garden grows, what it produces from start to finish. And I use this story for a simple reason. My friend sent me, and I thought it was amazing. My friend sent me a story and said, there's no way you can ever get all the rocks out of the garden. I go out there and I till that garden. I think, where do these keep coming from? You can never get the rocks out of the garden. And it was a great, post my friend sent me. You never get there. You don't. But just because you can't get all the rocks out of the garden, don't mean you quit. You just don't quit. You don't quit. Keep going back. There's more rocks in the garden. You can till that garden for 20 years. And my God, there's more. Like, where in the world did I turn that rock up at? But the point I want to make here is, all jokes aside, is I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest in the family. And I got to thinking last night, yes, yesterday afternoon was sad, and I don't want to get into that, but I got to thinking last night about being the oldest. And when you're the oldest in the family, you've got Jerry, which is next, and you start out, and the words you hear is, can I come with you? Can I come? So you're 4 years old, and you're going to go up to the hill, and 5 years old, believe it or not, and play baseball, and somebody's saying, can I come? He's only 3 years old. Yes, Jerry, come on. All right. So I started thinking about things like that. And I wrote the story Rocks in the Garden. And I just want to share two things. I want to leave out a single kid. I don't want to leave out a single kid. All the kids. I could have found a picture of my son. I could have found a picture of Matthew. I could have found a picture of Jagger, Winston, you name it. Sally, Maria. It doesn't matter. I could have found all these pictures. But it's just something I want to lay out. So when I wrote Rocks in the Garden the other day, and if Anthony Snover, if you're listening, and all the grandkids out there, and my son, when you're the oldest, you start something to happen. Gloria Lee Snover, if you're out there, remember when you signed up for Little League? 19-something? Lee wouldn't play softball. You wonder why Lee's the way she is? She didn't play softball. She signed up for Little League. Why, if her big brother Jerry and her bigger brother Brian, no pun intended, are going to go play, I'm going to go play baseball with Brian. What the hell? And then Maud Amy's sitting in her diaper, sorry, Maud, and watches on an old railroad tie. But as the oldest, this family is crazy about baseball. My dad said my kids are ball crazy. They're just ball crazy. Well, Lord, they'll drop everything and go play ball. They're ball crazy, my kids are. I don't know how it happened. Guilty. And if you're out there, Robert, Dominic, Anna Nicolosi. Robert, Dominic, thanks for letting me play. We had the neighbors, the Nicolosis. And here I am 4. Jerry's a little over 2. And I'm 4. Jerry's a little over 2. And we're going over because they're the bigger kids. They're the little bigger kids. They're playing baseball. So we have to go home and beg my dad for a glove. I'm only 4 years old, 3, 4. So I go home and beg my dad for a glove. I just want to be the oldest for a minute for my entire family. So I beg my dad my dad gets Jerry and me a glove. Here I am with my little glove, and I'm over there to these 2 Italian kids, calling it like it is, Robert and Dominic. And then the car comes up, and there's like 9 kids in the station wagon from Dover, the cousins. There's little Petey, big Petey, Maria. Oh, my God. Now, all of a sudden, all right, this is not racial, okay? All of a sudden, there's like 12 Italian kids playing baseball. I'm 4. Can I play? All right, so they finally let me swing. I'll never forget it. Never forget it, okay? I could barely hold a bat. Dominic standing behind me, put your feet here. Dominic standing behind me, putting my feet, I'll never forget it, putting my feet. Anthony, you better be listening. Putting my feet on the ground. Put your feet here. Now hold the bat like this. All right. No, get it up. And I'm 4. I can barely hold this bat. I'm 4. Okay? Choke up a little. Kids, I don't know if you even know what choke up on the bat. Now swing it. So they would pitch to me at 4 years old till I finally hit the ball and ran to first, and they would cheer for me. True story. So then it was Jerry, and he sit there and he cried. I want a bat. Well, the Nicolosi kids, all right, come here. So here Jerry's about getting close to 3. Jerry and I are not full 2 years apart. Jerry's getting close to 3, and they hold the bat for him. They hold the bat for him, okay? And they let Jerry swing, and they notice Jerry can't hold the bat by himself. He's not even 2.5 years old, but we're determined. Brian and Jerry are determined we're going to play baseball, okay? Because I go, and what did Jerry say? Can I go too? All right, so, okay, come on, Jerry. So we go over there, and Dominic, it might have been Robert, but, it's a couple years ago. They had to help Jerry swing. And I'll never forget, I'm only 4. I remember these things. I'll never forget them reaching over and holding that bat and helping Jerry swing to hit that ball. My dad said, my kids are ball crazy. Okay, ball crazy. But I told you the story. I'm going somewhere with this. I told you a story about rocks in the garden. And remember in the story, and I'm going to show you this picture, okay? Can you do me a favor and pull up I don't know if I sent it to you. Hold on, I'm going to send this to you right now if I haven't. I'm going to send it right now. Stay put with me, folks. Don't get upset yet. Don't get upset. Here it is. Hang on. Hang on, I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it. We're going to tell the story like it's supposed to be told here. So I'm going to send it right now. Okay. Now, Emily, I am sending you a picture. The very minute it gets there, please put it up. Just go ahead and put it on the screen. Okay. The very minute it gets there. So the other day, and I'm talking about being the oldest, and don't take that wrong, because I'm going to tell you where I'm going with this. So the other day, I wrote the story about rocks in the garden, and I'm waiting for this picture to process. Why is it not processing for me? Come on, there it is. The very second it gets there, Emily, put it on the screen for me. So I just told you, Brian, Jerry, and I go over to the Nicolosis to play baseball. All right. And I want my son, and I want Anthony, and I want Matthew, if he's listening, and Jagger and Winston and all the kids out there, because I just got the feeling last night, and I did a lot of thinking, like I said, I'm the oldest. All right. Now on the screen, put that back up for a minute, Emily. That's our phone number, and that's my email address. If you have a picture of you and my dad out there, if you have something you just want to write real quick between our 9 and 10 o'clock hour, bring it back. But so you take that down. So there's the picture right there. Okay. Now let me tell you this. I know I'm going to go all over the map this morning, but please stay with me. I'm going somewhere. That picture right there, when I wrote Rocks in the Garden, remember I rode the rototiller. You know the story, you read it. And Dad and I turned over the first garden in Diamond Hill, right? There we had. And I didn't get all the rocks out of the garden. And my dad said to me, and I think I'm 6 years old, or what, I think I'm about 6, whatever, 7, I don't know, 6. He gets home from work, and he says, how come you didn't get the rocks out of that garden? What did you do all day? This is the first real memory I have of my dad saying, what did you do all day while I was at work? And I had to answer, Dad, I played baseball all day. See, I'm the oldest. I played baseball all day. And where I'm going with this, it ties into my dad, is as being the oldest, I was the one to start playing baseball. My dad became the coach. That's a long story. My dad became the coach. I'll never forget my dad going down to Mike Wyatt. I'm going to use the full name, house, because Mike got in trouble and his mom and dad was not going to let him play in the championship game. And he was our best pitcher. So dad goes down to talk to his mom and dad. Have to have our best pitcher, Mike Wyatt. I'll never forget. But see, what this picture is this is validation that I was actually, and what I have over my shoulder is I have the bag my mom sent me to the garden. Now that's Dad's garden. Dad and I rototilled that garden. I told you the story. A little dangerous now that I think about it some years later, riding a rototiller. But see, what that picture is that's Mom sending me out every afternoon to the garden. I grew up with not the fear, but what it meant when I heard, Brian, come here. Woo, what is this going to be? All right, what's this going to happen? Mom and Dad. Brian, come here. Go out in that garden, get me 2 ripe. So I had to identify 2 ripe tomatoes, 2 ripe cucumbers. Get me this and get me this. So I went on my daily garden pick in Diamond Hill, New Jersey for Mom. And that's me coming out of the garden. And yes, there were rocks in the garden. But the very first thing I ever remember telling my dad what I did all day was play baseball. I'm going to end this, and I hope you're not bored, because it's a great American story, and it has a lot to do with the coronavirus. Give me number 4. Number four, that's me. Now, we don't have the fancy ballparks as we do today. That's an old field going between Mansfield Township, New Jersey, and Washington Township, behind the old Mobile Chemical plant. And Mobile Chemical wanted to build a plant there to make garbage bags. And my dad went out there and said, if you want to make garbage bags and if you want us to let you build this plant, you'll give us enough property to build these kids a baseball field. Now, I don't know if my sisters know that story. My brother knows that story. You remember us playing there. But Dad went out and told them Mobile Chemical wouldn't build a plant there unless they gave us enough property to build a baseball field. Now I'm 10, I think, up there to bat. You remember the first thing I ever said when Dad asked me what I was doing all day? Playing baseball, Dad. See, Dad knew his kids hard. He was hard on us. Let me look at this camera. Damn, ain't enough time to tell you how hard he was on us. We can't even begin to describe it. But you know what he knew? He knew and I'm using some bad words. I'm going to say he knew his kids loved that damn baseball. He knew his kids from his grandkids all the way through. Now, they was going to pick up a baseball glove. He knew that. And that day when I said, I've been playing baseball all day, Dad, that saved me from the leather. He couldn't do it. I should have got a whooping for lying. And trust me, it's a whooping, all right? It's not a whipping, it's a whooping, all right? It's a good old whooping, all right? I should have got a whooping for lying. But that picture on there is that piece of field that my dad and a couple other guys, I remember clear as they went out there and just started with old tractors and stuff clearing that field. And let me tell you something, there's a lot of rocks in that baseball field, not just the garden. And that's how when you played shortstop, you learned to get a bad hop. It hit off a rock on that old field. And then let me go from here. That's me. I'm the oldest. Playing that damn baseball. My kids are ball crazy. Let me go to this one right here. Shoot, I didn't send you that one either. Destiny, I'm gonna send you another one, all right? I'm sorry. I gotta get this story done, okay? It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get this story done whether people realize it or not. Here it is. I'm going to get it. I'm sorry, folks, but stay with me. Stay with me. My God, you'd think I'd been up since 4 o'clock in the morning getting this ready. Put this up as soon as you get it now. Put it up. So, rocks in the garden, Dad. I've been playing baseball all day. Dad told Mobile Chemical, that's the picture on the screen. If you're going to build Mobile Chemical and make trash bags here in the township, You're going to give me enough property to build these kids a baseball field. It's still there to this day. Okay. Baseball park. All right. That's exactly what that is. That's me up to bat. And I'm not leaving anybody out. It just was one of my best. It's coming up. It's coming to you now, Emily. This is one of my best. Actually, while I'm waiting, I have my West Virginia shirt. I'll explain that in a minute. Okay. West Virginia shirt. Okay. Cindy, thank you very much. And family, I'm going to get this done. So as soon as you get this picture, put it up. There you go. Now, this is my dad. And Emily, I want this segment called I've Been Playing Baseball All Day. Got it? I've been playing baseball all day, Dad. That's the segment, okay? And I hope you're out there. And this is my nephew, Anthony. Anthony. What? Dad just called you anything, okay? This is my nephew, Anthony, playing college baseball. There's Dad. Now, I don't want to leave Matthew out, and I don't want to leave Brian Keith, and I don't want to leave Vanessa from playing softball. I don't want to leave Lee out, Jerry, me. We got pictures. I'm not leaving Jagger, Winston, not a single one. I just wanted to open up with Dad, Anthony, listen to me. The reason you play baseball. Brian Keith, the reason you play baseball. Jagger, the reason you play baseball. It's because I'm the oldest. And I watched those Nicolosi kids next door get over in that field, and I wanted to know what they were doing. And I went and cried for a baseball glove. And Dad brought me and Jerry a baseball glove. And you know what? Dad got home. I didn't get all those rocks out of the garden. What you been doing all day? Playing baseball, Dad. Dad knew all through his life that his kids was ball crazy and they were going to play baseball. And Anthony, I just thought that was a beautiful picture of you and your grandfather there at college playing baseball. So I'm going to take a break, and that was for each and every one. And when you're sitting out there and you're playing baseball today, kids, in this family, I'm just happy to say I'm the oldest. I'm so proud that this damn family is ball crazy. And I want to give a special shout out to my neighbors, the Nicolosis. And I want to thank my dad for not understanding all the time why we were ball crazy, but supporting us all the way through. I'm going to take a break. We're going to come back in the next little bit. We're going to talk politics because I got some stuff to talk about, okay? When your family turns into a statistic, we're going to go into that. And then 9 or 10, I'm going to start showing you some great pictures of a great American story. And it's just not going to be enough to do it. But some of you are sending me pictures. Put the back up, okay, right there. That is my email address, and that is my phone number this morning. And you can text me or you can email me, social media way to follow us. A picture or something you'd like to say about you and your uncle or somebody that knows Dad that's watching this morning. When your family, wait a minute, I can't go yet. Wait, I know. I go, look, remember the days when we were filling in the map on the coronavirus and everybody for like 3 days said, what's going on with West Virginia? I mean, every state, cruise liners, everybody had a case of the coronavirus, COVID-19, but West Virginia. So how many days? Like 3 days. And we're wondering what's going on with West Virginia. Well, we're not making light of it, but my friend Cindy, thank you very much, sent me this shirt. Cindy sent me this shirt, and it says COVID-19 National Champions. It's got the state of West Virginia, COVID-19 National Champions. Now, if you don't know what a holler is, I can't take the time to explain it. And this is what we call social distancing in West Virginia. Let's see if you can see it. You stay in your holler and I'll stay in mine. Thank you, Cindy. Take a break, come back. We'll take the next 30 minutes. I want to know about Brad Raffensperger. I want to talk about, that's the Secretary of State of Georgia. I want to talk about Kelly Loeffler, the senator from Georgia, Richard Burr from North Carolina, taking advantage of you and I insider trading, as I think. And also I want to talk about when the coronavirus, a member of your family, becomes a statistic. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hey, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. I'm coming to you for Studio B, not in the main studio this morning, as we are self-quarantined at FYN and FYN TV. let's put up the way you can follow us. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Those are the way, and we'll thank Emily. Emily's in the main studio making it happen. FYN TV, right there's the social media, and also our email address and phone number. Now, I want to talk about right now, I'm going to talk in the next 30 minutes, I want to talk about at 9 to 10, family, if you're out there at 9 to 10, I'm going to do a tribute to my dad, which is a great American story. I hope you tune in for that. And there's going to be more on that. I can't just do it in an hour. But I want to talk about the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, obviously the coronavirus, and our Senator, Kelly Loeffler, here in Georgia. So let me start with this, okay? And Emily, let's name this segment when your family becomes a statistic. Coronavirus, COVID-19. Let's name this when your family becomes a statistic. Now, I don't like to use social media to get personal. Okay, there's a lot of things. America has changed, folks. Listen to me. It has changed. Got it? Never going back. You're not going back to January 2020. I asked you, if you're new to the show, I asked our viewers to mark down January 2020, okay, in their book. You're not going back there. The world has changed. America has changed in so many ways we can't even begin to talk about it. So let's say this, okay? I don't like to use social media personally. And what I mean by that is, I don't like to get too personal and stuff like that, because you have so many Facebook friends that are not your family and they're not your close, immediate friends. And don't take that wrong. I love each and every one of you. But when you go on social media, it's just like putting your business out there. Now, my dad, social media, Facebook guy. I mean, he Facebook with his friends all the way to Texas, all over the United States. So I knew in the last several days, because we're self-quarantined, right? And I knew in the last several days, really the only way to keep you updated with my father being in the hospital and yesterday when he went on to be with the Lord at 450 was through social media. And I'm amazed at what happened there. That I can't say thank you enough. But so not to get too personal, I am going to take this because this is what you're seeing out there, okay? And the reason I want to do this is when your family member becomes a statistic. And that's what I want to do. Give me number 61, okay? Now, we have shown number 6. I have it there, 61, Emily. Thank you. We have been showing you every day. I've been cutting away and showing you every day the new statistics, okay? Right now, and not to be insensitive, think you're insensitive, but these are just numbers to you. These are just numbers to you. So as of, this is the live mat from Johns Hopkins University that I clip every morning about 7:30. As of 7:30 this morning, there's 800,049 confirmed cases worldwide, okay? If you look down there in the U.S., let's not get political right now. There's a reason why we are leading in. Now, you're going to hear test, 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 test. The reason we're leading in the number of cases is because we are doing the testing. So let's not Trump trash right now. The U.S. has 164,610 cases, right? So right now, those are just numbers, okay? Now, let's go from those numbers to number 62. Number 62. 38,714 deaths in the world. Still just a number, just a statistic. Okay? Number 2. Now you click on, right? You click on number 63. All right. Let me drill this down. 3,170 cases, deaths. 3,170 deaths in America. Still, this is just numbers. And I'm going to tell you something. Up to 2 weeks ago, okay? I didn't see it the way I see it this morning. I took it serious. We've been taking it serious from day one. But up to about 2 weeks ago, this is what I was seeing, numbers that didn't have a whole lot of meaning. So this morning, as of 7:30 this morning, 3,170 cases, okay? Then headlines, number 60. Now, this was updated March 30th. That would be yesterday, right? Did I get it? That's number 60. Is that 60? Did I have two of them are 60? I've got it numbered 60. Do you not? Oh, there's two 60s. Give me the other one, the one with a headline in there, Emily. There's 60. I have two 60s. I've done it once again, and I've got 261. So I'm sorry. Can you get me the other 60? Up. Thank you, Emily. Folks, that's my fault, not Emily's. Sometimes I send two pictures with the same number. She wonders, what the hell are you doing? But now, remember their numbers. Now we're going to bring it down to a headline, okay? Headline, number 60 there. 10 more COVID-19 deaths. This is March 30th, okay? 10 more COVID-19 deaths in PA, 7 of them in the Poconos, Lehigh Valley, and Bucks County, as 693 new coronavirus cases reported. Now, you see what I brought it down to a headline? Statistics worldwide number, deaths worldwide, deaths in the U.S., a headline in a region. Give me number 1. That drills all the way down, and no disrespect, drills all the way down. Number 1. Number 1. That's not number 1. There you go. Thank you. All the way down to number 1 to my dad being a statistic. Now, let me look at the camera. Go ahead and take that down. I won't leave him up there. Let's go ahead and take that down. My dad had underlying health issues. Yes, he did. But he had COVID-19. I have family members that have tested positive. Don't want to go into that. Now, this is what I want to go into. When your family becomes a statistic. So I want to talk to families all over the United States. I don't care what Joe Scarborough says this morning. I do not care. I do not care what Andrew Cuomo. I do not care what a dumbass Acosta at CNN is asking questions. I don't care. I'll look at the camera and say, now, my dad became a statistic yesterday. And the reason I say it that way, let me tell you what we're up against. America, nothing will go back to being the same. Now think of the America, and I'm a little confused here myself. So I've got my Constitution. I always have my Constitution right here, folks. Constitution. We're reading reports of shutting down highways. We're reading reports of possibly federal interstates shutting down. We're reading reports of checkpoints where people are being stopped and asked, where are you going? We are reading reports, folks, of if you go in this state, you can't come back into this state. If you drive over here, when you come back, you have to mandatory quarantine for 14 days just because you went here. We're reading reports of we can't freely. You remember what was the airlines? And you would hear the ding of the belt buckle on the seat and said, you are now free to move across the country. Remember that? Now, let me tell you something. We'll go with a week. For a week. No one was allowed in my dad's hospital room. No one. Now, I'm not going to show you this to upset you because, you know, it's not the best picture. And I apologize to my family, but I'm talking to families all across the country, and I'm talking to people that are seeing numbers. I want to pull you down to where it's in a family and it becomes a statistic. For a week, nobody could go in this hospital. Nobody. We did not stop. Thursday night, number 20, and I don't want to leave it up there long. This is only Thursday night. I'll let you know. This is my brother, Jerry. Look at Jerry with his rubber gloves on, his smock, his eye gear, his face mask. They let him in for an hour. An hour. Take that down. And folks, don't you think that didn't come with a whole lot of pressure? After Jerry left Thursday, no more. And the reason I'm telling you this story, because people across this country are dealing with this. And this is what we really need to think about. I understand $2 trillion economic package. I get it. I understand that. Elections coming up. I get it. My thought this morning are this switch for me, the millions out there that are touched somehow, some way by this personally. So now you're not allowed in a nursing home. You're not allowed in assisted living. You're being told don't let the grandkids go visit the grandparents. You're being told whoever's in the home at the time, stay put. That's why it's stay. Don't let anybody in the house. Don't have visitors. You don't know where they've been. You don't know what grocery store. I'm not knocking anything. But the reason I'm talking about that is now, Sunday night, today's Tuesday, right? Sunday night, I was on a conference call with my sister with the hospital, and I said, you know what? A couple days ago, we appreciated you let Jerry in for an hour. Can he come and stand outside the glass? Now, my dad had a room that had a glass window into the nurse's station. Can he come? We'll send Jerry again. Can he come and stand outside the window? And they said it as compassionately as the doctor could say it, and no, absolutely not. Okay. And, and the reason I'm getting a little personal is because when your family member turns into a statistic, absolutely not. Okay. So we are calling as a family on a daily basis. Is he comfortable? Is he gasping for air? Yesterday, and we're talking about a man that I'm going to say, it's not bragging, I'm going to say 1,000 people at his funeral. I wouldn't be caught off guard. 2 funerals, one in North Carolina, 1,000 there, and 1,000 people. I wouldn't be caught off guard. My mom couldn't go visit her husband in the hospital. I'm being a little out there, but I'm going to be candid because I know what America's going through. We asked the question, can we bring him home to die? No. Too infectious. No. Okay. And if you need to close your ears on this, close your ears. Hospital calls and says we will contact the funeral home, for his body. We ain't seen this man in how many days now? Okay, we're deal with that. And then we hear, And I'm not going to be negative. Then we hear the staff nurse will put together his belongings and put them in a sealed, and and recommendations of sanitary, because they've been in a room, sanitize them, how you pick them up. And then I received, I don't know who all he called. I received after 4:50, probably 4:58, a call from the doctor. And the doctor called and he said, I want to apologize to you. He said, I want to apologize for the way your families had to go through this. I'm really sorry. I just wanted to call and say that, how your families had to go through this. And I said, Doctor, I appreciate you very much. I appreciate your staff. I do understand what's going on throughout the country. But I have to tell you, that was a struggle. That's a struggle for us, not being able to be with our dad during this time. And he was very nice. Now, let me move on. We can't have a funeral. We have rules. We have rules of how many can be there, obviously. I can't go to Pennsylvania. One, there's travel restrictions, but that's not the big part. My wife and I can't go attend the funeral in Pennsylvania because it's a restricted number. We're going to let my mom obviously have the first slot of the 10 or whatever that number is. I think it's 10, right? And I don't know how they'll work it out, but I have a lot of family there and my dad has friends, and I don't even know how they're going to figure this out. But I am not going to take a place, my father's funeral. Now keep that in mind. We can't have it. And two, I can't go to I want to give my place up for somebody there. This is only 10. Now, he grew up in a little town, Elk Park, North Carolina. And since he was young and since I was a little kid, there's a place called Curtis Creek. I don't know if it's Curtis because they're Southerners or Curtis Creek. Curtis Creek's Pritchard Family Cemetery. And us 5 kids, I'll tell you that story later. 4, how did 4 become 5? Us 4 kids have known, and my mom, he wants to be buried at Curtis Creek. Not only are we dealing with the state of Pennsylvania with 10 people, we're dealing with the state of North Carolina to get him buried where he's always wanted to be buried. Now, I say this to you, not in a sad, negative way. America, things have changed. Things have changed, and we're not going back. So I just want to take a minute and tell you what it's like when a family member turns into a statistic. I'm going to take a brief break. I'm going to come back. Emily, I want to do 10 minutes, okay? I want to do 10 minutes of some politics, and then at 9 o'clock, a tribute to my dad, okay?
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's been 4 generations of family ownership, tens of thousands of customers, and more Chevys than we'd ever be able to count. And more than 60 years later, when we say Days gets it done, we still mean it. With the North Georgia Mountains lowest Chevy prices, a huge selection, and outstanding customer care. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, and let's get it done. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hey, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm in a great mood today. It's like I'm really in a good mood. I can't explain it. I just had the joy last night of going through some pictures and thinking about this morning show. And I wondered if it was too early to do a tribute to a great American story, my dad. But, you know, it's not. And it's not the only reason, because he did have complications, and the COVID-19 is what caused his death. He did have a lot of underlying health conditions, but COVID-19. So I thought today I wanted to talk about how when your family becomes a statistic. Now, that being said, my dad taught me politics. Can't get into that. But if you are family and friend out there, okay, anybody out there, from 9 to 10, I'm going to do a nice tribute to my dad, and I think you will enjoy it no matter who you are viewing this morning. But I want to take about 5 minutes really quick, and I want to highlight a couple things. Number one, no matter where you're out there, you need to listen, because we have elections coming up. All right. The word of the day is COVID-19. We are self-quarantined. We're stuck in the house. Okay. All the above. But we have elections coming up. And as you know, elections have consequences. And November is coming up fast, whether you believe it or not. And when you hear COVID-19 should be flattened out by June, and we should be getting back to what normal. As you hear all of that, don't forget we have primaries. Now, here in Georgia, let me give you an example, no matter where you're at. The primary is May 19th. Now, you've never heard me say I feel sorry for a political candidate, but these people went, and in your state too, they went and paid a qualifying fee. Okay? Now, if you're running for the 9th Congressional District in Georgia to replace Congressman Doug Collins, which is running for the Senate in Georgia, you paid like $5,300. You went down and you wrote a check for $5,300 to be on the ballot. Now you can't publicly campaign, as they call, press the flesh. You can't go out and do the political handshake. And if you campaign a certain way, you're considered insensitive. It's real tough. So Georgia House Speaker, and let me put in reference to you need to look into your state this morning. Georgia House Speaker has proposed to moving into June with the primary. Secretary of State of Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, in an effort to keep the coronavirus off the machines, has agreed with the Democrats of Georgia. Pay attention, folks. The Democrats to send you out an application for a absentee ballot. Now, in Georgia, I don't know your state, generally you have to request it. You make the request, and then you have to give a reason. I'm out of the country, I'm ill, whatever. Then it's got to be approved. You send it back in, they send you an absentee ballot, right? In the state of Georgia. No. Secretary of State's going to send everybody that's registered to vote an absentee ballot application. Can you say vote harvesting? Yes. That's when they find enough absentee Democrat votes and they tend to lose. They open it up, Republican here, Democrat two, harvesting. Okay. Disaster. Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State of Georgia, is a disaster. I'll take one more minute because I promised at 9 o'clock. Kelly Loeffler, the senator of Georgia, needs to resign. She will not be convicted for insider trading, my opinion, along with Richard Burr of North Carolina, her friend. Now, Senator from North Carolina, Richard Burr, and Senator from Georgia, Kelly Loeffler, both Republicans, I could care less, sit together during the impeachment trial. Wonder what they talked about, because they both made enormous, in the millions of dollars worth of trades immediately after coming out of classified, confidential meetings concerning the coronavirus. They both should resign immediately. While Americans were taking their money out of the stock market, trying to save their life savings, these crooks, my opinion, were betting against America using insider trading, my opinion. Okay, we'll take a break. It's a little bit of what I had to say. Hey, that's what the show's normally like. If you like that, we do 2 hours of that every day. So here we go. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, and it'll be time to do a tribute to Dad. Let's do that. Let's have fun. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, if you are, I hope you don't leave, but if you do, I understand. I want to do a tribute to my dad. He's a great American story. And yeah, I've decided I'm going to write the book. I'm going to get with my brothers and sisters and mom, and I think we're going to write the book because we're talking about a country boy all the way back in the woods of Avery County, North Carolina, growing up, that went off to the Army, that didn't understand the world. He'd been in Avery County, North Carolina, and they dug shrubbery. And if you don't understand some of the things I'm saying, I'll just have to explain later. And now this boy went off to see the war. And this is the first time when he left Avery, North Carolina, that he met people outside of Avery, North Carolina. And boy, the stories he told. And I'm going to tell you something. He was just as green a country boy that was ever set. When he went to the Army, you couldn't get any greener than that boy. And he's a great American story from that time to building a great business and being father, uncle, friend, neighbor, someone you could count on. And let me get this. All right, so first of all, let me start here. Nobody's going to be left out. If I don't mention your name, you're not left out. You are in my thoughts, my heart. There's absolutely no way I could get everybody in. Okay, no way. Second, I'm just going to tell it like it is on some of it. Okay? And every single thing I say in the next hour is with love and how much I love you. Damn it. I don't like to use bad words, but I posted on Facebook the other day, this has to end. People are starting to think I'm nice. This too will end. And then I got all these messages. But here we go. Now, this is not official, folks. I want to make sure this is not official. We've talked to a lot of family and friends. As you well know, we cannot have a funeral. As you well know, we cannot have a service. As you well know, thousands of you would want to come. We have talked, not official, not official. Okay. Let me show you a picture here. Lee sent me a bunch of pictures. I went through and got a bunch of pictures. And let me show you this one just to start out here. Number 84, Emily. Now, this is Gerald going down the Pritchard's Book of World Records, maybe the largest hill water slide down the hillside. So we would go up, and this is the pig roast, okay? We would go up, all right? And we would we do a lot of construction work. So we have thousands of feet of poly in these boxes. So we would get up and get thousands of feet of poly to go down this big long hill. Okay. And then let me switch around. I want to tell this one first because I just absolutely love this. Here's number 85. Give me number 85. Now, this is 4th of July, the pig roast. Okay. So here's number 85. And this is a grandkid. I can't tell under there. I think it might be Jagger, but this is a grandkid. And we would haul the hay bales. You see that? That's Gerald on his four-wheeler. And we're going to have the pig roast. Okay? There's Gerald on his four-wheeler. Come on. Come on. Let's go get this hay. And we would start stacking it up. The pig roast is, I don't know why we had it, because you never work so hard. I mean, because we may have 1,000 people there. I'm not joking. Throughout the day, they would come and go in 100 at a shift. By the end of the day, 700-800 people be at the pig roast. And everybody was invited. And everybody knew Pritchard's having the pig roast. So I get a little further in that, leave that one up there. So let's go back. Let's go back to, I had it there. I'll find it. I had it just a minute ago. Let's go back to 84. So we got water slide built. Now I want you to look in the background if you can. The little baby over there with the red, yellow shirt, and the kids up there. And I can see Lee over there, and I can see Mom. And Mom's got the white slacks on there, right next to Lee. And let me just say it like this now. It didn't matter if there's 1,000 people and Dad getting ready to go down this water slide. He going to yell, Mom, Mom, come here. Watch this. Mom, Gerald. So anyhow. And then, because I wanted to start with this because Jerry called me last night, and then there could be 500 people, could be 300. And you got now this was an annual thing, okay? Now everybody eat. You got to eat. Number 57. Look here. Number 57. That's Gerald. Now, Jimmy, if you're out there this morning, Jimmy Pritchard, I'm not going to leave anybody out. I'm so sorry. This is a whole thing for all of you out there, because you're gonna get your own memories, okay? Because all of you were at the pig roast, and this is Gerald. Now, what's he got on? He's got his American shirt on, right? This is Gerald cutting the pig. Now, this pig is all night long a big steamer. And Jimmy Pritchard, Jerry, Matt Pritchard, your son Jimmy. Every year it was different, but we sit up all night long with the pig. Now, you know it out there. This is Gerald cutting that pig, right? And let me kind of end this segment. This is not official. Go to number 56. See that? Happy 4th of July, the Pritchards. And there's Gerald up there looking over the balcony. And I don't know, 500 people, I'm telling you. And he's giving his annual welcome to my home speech. He's given his annual how much I love my country speech. Like Jerry said last night, Dad didn't love his government. And us kids, we got that. He loved his country. And this is the annual Gerald loves his country speech, man. I mean, if you was there, Gerald, I mean, he got up there. Now, let me give you one. And it's 4th of July. And I'm going to give you one right here, okay? And this one, number 9, okay? See that, number 9? The other number 9, I guess. I don't know if I gave you 2, but number 9, that's not number 9. Sorry, that's not number 9. There, where's number 9? Should be in the same. There you go. Thank you, Emily. I know Emily's trying to move the pictures along. I'm sorry. She's doing an outstanding job. So there you go. Number 9, right there, right? That's Gerald yelling for Mom. Mom, come here and say something. That's a different pig roast. We had them every year. Every year. We had to have parking crews. We had to, Dad, come out there in the morning. Now, I want you to park them up here. Let me tell you something. I don't want to take anything away from Dad. Growing up, even as an adult, even as a grown man here, Brian, come here. Woo! Everybody out there understands what that means. So anyhow, that's Mom. Now, let me tell you, I want to end with this little part here by saying that's their welcome to my home. And that's the reason I want to open it with that. Welcome to my home. And I think that could put a circle around all of it. He was always welcome to my home, both Mom and Dad. So it's not official, okay? Everyone out there, you got your pig roast memories, okay? It's not official, but we have talked because we can't have a funeral. I mean, there you go. We have talked, several of us, about possibly 4th of July having a pig roast as our memorial service. Not official. Don't put a stamp on that. But I would get your calendar out, start making plans in case. So let me go to before I go to family, okay? This is one, I love the pictures. And one thing I found in Gerald's pictures is everyone, you know how they say pictures tell 1,000 words? Pictures worth 1,000 words. Everyone tells a story. And what I've got out of the pictures I posted in the last week is so many of you have sent me messages and you say, I can hear him saying that. I can hear Uncle Gerald say that right there. I remember when Uncle Gerald said this, or Papa, what you guys have done that. And that's what I found in the pictures. Now, interesting, let me just do a little politics. Don't want to get off on it, but Dad wasn't a little politics. Now, I'm going to tell you something, okay? I've told this to several people that have called. And there was more than two things, all right? There was family and everything. But I say it interestingly is Dad wanted to make sure there was two things that happened in his kids, his grandkids, and everybody he met in your life. He wanted to make sure your name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And then he wanted to make sure you vote Republican. And that's just a true story. I can't tell it any other way. Give me number 6. Now think about this. Number 6. My dad is in a corridor, a stairwell corridor, with Vice President Mike Pence. And he's letting him know. He's letting him know. Don't know 100% what he's saying, but as you could see, Mike Pence is listening, okay? Now, Dad never, when he got his politician, they heard about it. Now, I want to show you one more because I can't, like I said, I'm going to show you a couple more. And I want to say this happened recently 6 months ago. I'm going to give you number 7 real quick. This is Congressman Doug Collins. And I want you to zero in, if you can, and zone in on those hands. Congressman Doug Collins holding my dad's hand. And my dad is probably, and I do think Jerry can tell this, my dad is probably letting him know what it means to be a good Baptist, because Congressman Doug Collins is a Baptist preacher, what it means to be a Baptist, and what it means to be a Republican, and how he better get this country straightened out. And that was one of the kindest moments I've seen. There's so many. We would have to do a 3-hour show. Lee will tell you all the way back at Dick Armey. Lee would have to tell you, Jimmy Pritchard, all the pictures at New York City at the Republican convention there. There's no way. That's a 2-hour program, Gerald in Politics. But recently, this is one of the most kindest moments that, and I'll do this real quick. Number 8. That night, Congressman Doug Collins took a picture with the family and my dad. My dad wanted a picture with the congressman. And there's one more in there that I found as I was going through that I want to highlight. When I'm staying on politics, I'm going to stay on politics for just a reason, folks. Just a minute. And again, we would do hours if we stayed on politics. Hold on, I got it here. Going through my picture numbers. I got 70 up this morning, and we will get it up here in just a brief minute. I'm going to get it here. Give me number. Oh, Lord. Hold on, I got it. Everybody looking at me saying, when you going to get through with this? Give me. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe I thought I put it up there, and I just can't find it. So we'll come back to politics in a minute. Let me speed through here if you'll just indulge me just a second. Oh, here's another one on the pig roast I want to get out. Okay, 79. This is number 79. This is one of the pig roasts. Give Mom and Dad the microphone. Number 79, please. Give mom and dad the microphone. I don't know if the computer's freezing up in the studio. If you can find me, number 79. Mom and dad with the microphone there. Hold on a minute. Emily, is it freezing up in the office or let me see if maybe the pictures are freezing up, because I'm asking for numbers. And is there, oh, she says she doesn't have the ones in the 70s. I'm so sorry, Emily. Let me do that now. She told me what was happening. Hold on just a minute, folks. Won't take but a minute. I'll change the subject. This is my fault, trying to get everything ready for this morning. Let's see. See if she has these. And then hold on just a second. Just 1 minute, folks. I forgot to send all the pictures over, so bear with me just a minute. And it won't take me but a second. I'm so sorry. This is, I'd like to have them all ready. So anyhow, politics, I got a couple more I want to do, and I might just bump back to that. So Emily, do me a favor. Give me, I want to go into, and I want to get to family in just a minute. The way I mean that, I want to get into number 18. And number 18, there's a lot of you out there that don't know this, and a lot of this don't know this. You know, my dad started a drywall supply company. Okay. Now, many of you know him as a drywall contractor, but you're not real. And I know my mom has the pictures. I should have found some. But a lot of you don't know about P&M Supply. You ever heard of P&M Supply? Pritchard and Moses, P&M Supply. And the reason I wanted to put this picture up first is because Dad started a drywall supply company, and this is early 70s. Okay. All right. And I would like to hear this disputed. He invented the drywall boom truck. And what is a boom truck? Now you see that crane there. Okay. You see that crane. And if you're not out there in construction, you may not understand this, but that will pick up the drywall, pull it into the forks, put it up in, and you pull it off the drywall. Before that, you hand it up the stairwell. So Dad opened a drywall supply company called P&M Supply, Pritchard and Moses. And he had a bunch of flatbed trucks, and he was trying to figure out, how can I get that board, it's drywall, how can I get the board to the window? And he figured it out. Now, he didn't patent it, and they stole it, and it is what it is today. And he went down to a friend of his, and I'm going to say Edison, New Jersey. I'm going to think it was Edison, New Jersey. And he went down to a buddy down there that he knew. And he said, here's what I want to do. And he took a piece of paper. I've told you. And he sat down with that guy, and he sketched out a lumber boom. Now, at this time, a lumber boom went down with a claw hand, hydraulics, picked up lumber and moved it. And Dad showed him how to take that lumber boom, take that claw off the end, and manufacture and build forks and configure the hydraulics to flip up and grab that board. You see that board? And take it to the window. And off that old piece of paper, the Dad said, let me show you something. That man built a boom truck for my dad. He built it. He didn't buy it nowhere else. He built it. First one. Now, the other thing I want to tell as far as P&M Supply, because there's a lot of you out there that don't know how many things Dad did. Okay. And the other thing is direct deliver. Now, I'll get over this real quick because I want to get to family. But back in the 70s, there was drywall. Some of you might have heard Tiger. You don't know. Tiger Gypsum, okay, back in the day. Flint Coat. I'm sorry. Flint Coat. Tiger Gypsum, Flint Coat. So Flint Coat was a drywall manufacturer. So my dad is doing these big jobs, and he thought to himself, if I could just get the manufacturer to ship me a tractor trailer load of board to the job, and my dad knew how to get more drywall in the window in the course of the day. He taught. He's the godfather of that business. So he said, if I could get that tractor trailer to come straight to the job instead of coming to the yard, unloading it, and putting it on a truck at a time, like you see there, and taking it, I can load 3,000 sheets a day. And if I can make $1 a sheet, that's the way Dad always thought. If I can make $1 a sheet and I put 3,000 through the window, you're like, wow, okay. Well, the manufacturers wouldn't do it. No, we're not going to start direct ship. No, because if we do, it'll mess up the other supply yards out there, and we're just not going to do it. It'll take the power away from the manufacturer, the suppliers. My dad said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go buy my own tractor trailers. I'll start my own trunking company, and I'll come pick the board up for myself. So every day, my Uncle Danny, one of them, my Uncle Danny, was down there at Flint Coat picking up drywall with a tractor trailer and going to the job site. So as silly as it sounds, you don't know what that means in that industry, the two things, a boom truck and direct deliver. Amazing. Let me go over a little bit with the family, okay, because I don't want to leave anybody out this morning. Now, Dad liked to take a selfie. And Emily, I know I just sent you a bunch of new pictures, but we'll go through them one by one instead of jumping around. We'll just go through it like this. Dad liked to take a selfie. All right. Give me number 83. Now, here's Dad, number 83, in his glasses. Okay. Taking a selfie. 19 pair of glasses. Mom, have you seen my glasses? Okay. There he is. Now, I want to stop there for a minute and talk about Dad in this way. Just like the boom truck, I'm going to fast forward. Just like the boom truck, just like the flat tractor trailers. Dad was never afraid of taking a chance on technology. Not at all. When let's call it 1984 or 85. We'll call it 85. I don't know. Okay. We'll call it 1985. This is before text messaging. This is before iPhones. This is before Nextel. This is before any of that. Dad goes out and puts in all of his trucks radios, Motorola radios, and gets a base station that will reach 3 states. And let me tell you something. He always kept the office at the house for the longest years. It was always at the house. And everybody that worked for him was family, and you came to the house. And you sit and drink coffee with Gerald because you come to the house. That being said, when we had those trucks, Dad jumped into it. He knew we needed communication. And he was base. And you'd hear that click. Base to 2. That was a scary thought. Base to 2. Oh, God, it's 5:30. What's he want me to do? But he was never afraid of that. Then 2, I think it was 2 builders said, hey, did you measure up that house? Yeah, fax that over to me. It only took 2. Dad was down at the store. We had a fax machine. We were one of the first companies in our industry to have a fax machine, as silly as it is. We ain't got a fax machine. I'll never forget when he was told it was time to put the business on a computer. Most people would scare the daylights out of. I remember Dad sending Lee to go get a computer to put the business on. We're going to move his business up. Lee went and got it. I remember. Never forget. Never afraid of technology. Okay. So there he is doing his selfies. He was selfie. He was silly and serious and strong. Here's number 82. This is Freedom Hall. I think Freedom Hall is out in Kentucky, where Dad loves Southern gospel music. And I know I put it on there, the inspirations. Come here and listen to Archie sing. Listen to Archie. Mom, Gerald, I've heard Archie 1,000 times over and over. Now, what's Archie going to do new that I haven't heard? Mom, come in here. Listen to Archie a minute on the inspirations. Dad loves Southern gospel music. I could tell those stories in the second hour, but we'll see what time we got left. This is in Kentucky. I think he liked to go every year. I don't want to mess it up with Luther and Phyllis and Tommy and a bunch of them. And this was a big gospel music convention. If there was a Southern gospel music convention somewhere, you could find Gerald. All right. This is number 81. I just want to put it back up again. Okay. This is Anthony and his papa. This is Lee's son, Anthony, and my dad. Let me go to 79. Do you have it ready now? Can you give me 79? I mean 78. 78. I'm sorry, 78. 78. This is Dad in his garden. And he had to go down to the office and set him up a little roadside stand. Now, it wasn't that the guy didn't have enough. He just enjoyed his garden. And he went down there and he set up a roadside stand. People come by just so they'd talk to him. And he'd sell his produce. Just didn't have nothing else to do that day. He'd sell his produce. And buddy, that was a big deal to him. 77, I don't know who this gentleman is. This is just my dad enjoying being with a friend. And when something cracked him up, it cracked him up, and he was enjoying with his friend. I just want to go to this one, number 76, and I forget. I got to say friends from Kentucky and friends from Indiana, and I apologize if you're watching. This is Dad with a couple of his friends in the kitchen. And I want to give this one now. This is number 75. This is Julie. Julie up in Michigan with Aunt Sal and Uncle Gerald. This is Julie. I'm trying not to leave anybody out. I promise. It's not number 74. This is Dad and Mom sitting by the pool. All right. This is number 73. And as I get to some, I'll stop and tell a story. This is 73. This is Dad and Mom at Tamarack, West Virginia. Okay. Tamarack, West Virginia, and Beckley, West Virginia. The Tamarack, Mom and Dad. Now, I think, Lee, correct me if I'm wrong. If you got my number, text me. This is number 72, okay? And I think this is Pastor Reyes from West Virginia. Is it not, Lee? If I'm wrong, send me a message. But this is Pastor Reyes from West Virginia. And I just want to say this, okay? Let me say this. Let me switch to church. I was 6, okay? And the first memory I have, I was 6. And Dad had his drywall boom truck, remember? He built his drywall boom truck. And a pastor asked him, can you set the steeple on the top of our church? They just built a new church out in Washington, New Jersey somewhere. Can you set the steeple? Because now at this time, it was unusual. Somebody had a crane like that. And I'll never forget going over there, okay? And it was, as young as I am, I remember it like it was yesterday. Now, Dad is not at this time the best crane operator, right? But he drove the truck himself. And we went over there in that field in Washington, New Jersey. I'm 6 years old. And he took a drywall band and he figured it up all around and got a strap and he figured up around that truck. And it took a while, but before he was done, he had that steeple on top of that church. If you're out there, Pastor Reyes, if you met him, he helped your radio station. If you had a gospel radio station and you was preaching and you wanted to get the word out, he helped. If you wanted to build an addition, a school on your church to teach kids, he helped. There's more gymnasiums. Now, I'm not joking. There are more gymnasiums, more church buildings in other countries. In other countries. My dad sent me to Australia. He paid for me to go to Australia to lay brick for a church, 1986 or 7. Okay? My dad built additions on churches. He built a women's shelter in Macon at Hepzibah for pregnant, single girls could come. He helped build houses for orphans. No, I'm not joking. And this is Pastor Reyes. Because see, Gerald, let me just say it like this. Gerald made a lot of money. Gerald took a lot of money and put it back into people like this every day. Family. Family. I'll get to it. I don't want to get stuck. Got a lot of time left here. We got 30 minutes. That's Mom passed the race. Here's Mom and Dad eating somewhere. I don't know. Number 71. They're out to dinner somewhere. Got a nice overlook. I don't know where that's at. Number 70. Here's Jagger. This is Maud Annie's son, Jagger and Dad. Okay, nice, wonderful picture. Pop-up was pop-up. Here's a bunch of yahoos. Now, if you're from the South, you understand what yahoos are. Okay? Now, number 69. All right? That's just a bunch of yahoos. Dad say, you yahoos, you ain't nothing but a bunch of yahoos. And let me tell you something. You remember my cousin Viddy when he was saying Utes? If you don't know what Ewans is, now if you didn't hear that, if you don't know what Ewans kids, Lee and Jerry and I could get in trouble, or maybe it'd be Jerry, just joking. Jerry could get in trouble. Ewans kids, and we started looking, how did we get in that? But if you don't know what Ewans is now, and yahoos, you're a bunch of yahoos. This is a bunch of my dad's family down here at Curses Creek Baptist Church. In the country, up there in the mountains. I can't name all of them. There's brothers, sisters, cousins, and Dad, and each and every one, Aunt Rhett and Uncle Dale. But there's a bunch of yahoos to me, and they know I'm saying. Now, here's number 68. This is Uncle. Now, I don't have time to tell you how he became just Uncle to us. Everybody else, he's Uncle Hill. To the Pritchards, to me, Lee, Jerry, and Maud, he's Uncle. I think Uncle's 92, and this is Dad and his brother, Uncle, eating breakfast one morning at Bojangles, okay? And no telling what they're talking about. Now, I pictured this because I told you Dad's pictures always, you can hear something. You can hear number 67. This is Dad and his sister Neen in Michigan, okay? And if I'm to guess, Dad and Neen are trying to figure out where somebody used to live. Now, I'm just serious, out there. Dad's probably saying, now, those so-and-sos, they lived up so-and-so. And Aunt Neen's probably saying, no, Gerald, I don't know if I remember. Yeah, you know them. That might have been what was happening there. Aunt Neen and Dad trying to figure out where somebody lived when they were kids. This one here, I told you I'm not getting emotional today, but this is number 66. This is my sister Lee. Okay, number 66. Next one down. Did I not send that to you? Just text me if I didn't send it, okay? Tell me the next number you have. You don't have 66. What's the next number you have down? Can you tell me? And I'll send this to you in a minute. Let's go to 60. Do you have 65? 63 is the next one. So I'll get you 66. So you've got, you say next one you got is, you don't have 64. You got 60. Let's go to 63. You got 63? Okay, I'll get the other ones to you in just a minute. This says 63. Do you have 63? I thought that's the number you told me you had was 63. Do you have 63? No, go there. That shouldn't be, okay? 63 shouldn't be that, but that's okay. I'll send you those in just a second. Give me 62. All right. I probably convoluted these pictures. Do you not have 62? All right. Let's take, all right. No, that should be yesterday. I think you're in yesterday's pictures. I'm a little confused. 61 is John Hopkins. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Do you have the other 61? Okay, let me go to this one. All right, that's Tammy. I'm gonna send you the other ones. Hold on just a second, folks. I mean, it's not her fault. Let me send these over. I've tried to do like 70 pictures. Stay with me, please. All right. And let me see what I have here. Let me get into these. I just want you to go here. 60. All right, I'm going to send you several, get them ready by number, and I'll call for them in a minute. This is Tammy, all right? Now, Tammy and I are the same age. And, you know, and this one I picked out for a reason because Dad never, I'm the oldest in the family, Dad never had fear for me. I had to deal with the fears. He didn't have fear for me. So there were so many things in my dad's life that he told me, so many things in my life that he told me. He says, you'll be okay. You'll be all right. So I'm going to say 26 years old to save it. I'm 26. I really don't fly. I've really never flown that much in my life. Obviously, the Chicago O'Hara. Now, Tammy lives in Memphis, Tennessee at this time. You guys take this and mirror all your stories because this is going to mirror so many stories out there. So Tammy's, we're going to say 26. And Tammy calls Uncle Gerald. She's in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm just going to put it real tight. And she calls Uncle Gerald and says, Uncle Gerald, I want to come home. All right. So one day I get home from work. I stop by the house. Brian, come here. I want you to go to Memphis. I want you to get this car. And I want you to get a U-Haul for Tammy, and I want you to load that U-Haul up and bring Tammy back here. Okay, really? All right, I'm going to get, so the next day, you're going to fly to Chicago. I'm scared to death. You're going to fly to O'Hara. Now, you're going to get off plane in O'Hara, you're going to go over here, and you're going to fly to Little Rock, Arkansas. And then you're going to fly from Little Rock to Memphis, and then you're going to meet Tammy and drive her back 1,200 miles. Why? So I fly to Chicago. I get across the airport, fly to Little Rock, fly a jumper over to Memphis. Next thing I know, Tammy and I are back on our way. Tammy, you know it. So that's what I tell us. How many times did you guys call Uncle Gerald? Hey, I did too. All right, I did too. So let's go. From there, yeah, Brian, go. Dad never feared for you. I don't know how to say that. And you got over your fear because he pushed you out of the nest and said, go do it. That was Dad. Okay. So let me go there. And that was with Tammy. We're going to go on, Emily, until we're done. So we might be a little past 10. But we're going to go on until we're done. So let's go. I want to do this for a reason. He could be a good sport, okay? Obviously, one of the kids, and I'm going to tell you where this is at, okay? Number 58, my niece, Ashley, okay? Ashley's autistic, deaf, blind, and she got a Goofy hat for Christmas, and she wanted to put it on Pop-Up and take a picture. And that's Pop-Up wearing the Goofy hat for Ashley. Now, we did the pig roast, so let me get past that one. Here's one I want to do. It's a beautiful picture. It has my sister Lee in here. She's number 54. All right. Number 54. That's Lee, Dad, Anthony, and my mom. College baseball. Number 53. I don't know who this is. I'm trying to figure it out. There's Dad. That's one of the kids. Taking a nap. Now, this one I wanted to get earlier. Do you have number 52? I couldn't find it earlier. Again, with Dad, focused in on a politician and saying, and Dad never got his politician up there that he didn't let him have it. And I mean in a bad way, okay? Here's one. How many thousands of these did he attend? Number 51. This is a political barbecue, all right? Ron Engel. Now, a lot of you don't know in the family Ron Engel, but there's Dad and Ron at a barbecue. Now, yesterday, Mike Lindell made a lot of news with saying he's using his My Pillow factory to make masks, and a lot of other media outlets are making fun of it. But Dad, look at Dad getting his My Pillow. number 50. Dad got his My Pillow, and there he is, happy as can be. My Pillow, Mike Lindell. All right. Now this one here, folks out here, number 49. This is Wilmer Buck. This is my dad and his friend Wilmer Buck. Now my dad's always telling his friend Wilmer, and this is one of thousands of hours. So my dad is telling Wilmer a big story, and Wilmer's sitting there figuring out if he believes it, and Wilmer's sitting there figuring out where he's going to interject his argument. You didn't know these two. So one time I flew into Philadelphia to go see them for some reason. I flew in. Dad came to the airport to pick me up, him and Wilmer, right? So first half of the conversation for an hour and 15 minutes was Dad and Wilmer Buck deciding on whether he needed to stop for gas. Honestly, well, you'll never make it back home. Yes, I will, Bucky. I'll make it back home. No, you won't. You'll have to stop. Okay. The second part of the conversation is where to stop when they decided they should stop. Where to stop and who has the cheapest gas. Cheapest gas, a good 10-minute argument. You know out there. I'm telling you. Here is number 48. I remember this camera. I remember this day. Look at those patent leather shoes, white shoes. That's Gerald and his dad. That's Daddy Tom. I'll never forget this. Oak Park, North Carolina, as kids. Number 47. That's a bunch of yahoos there. That's Uncle Dale, Aunt Rhett there. That's Aunt Rhett's his sister. There's Mart. There's Mart and John. And there's my dad and mom. And there's Uncle Jeff. Now, this one here is special. I told you about the goofy hat. This is where we're at, number 46, okay? Number 46, left to right, Mike, Lee, and Anthony. And there's my dad holding on to Ashley. Now, Ashley is the one in a red hat. That's Jerry's daughter, a beautiful young lady, autistic, blind, deaf, does sign language in your hand. And that's my son on the floor, his wife, Jessica, and my mom holding Ashley's little doll. But it was a family tradition in shifts to always go see Ashley on Christmas Day. And Ashley knows she's getting her picture taken with Pop-Pop. So we'll leave that there. Here's one at Christmas time, number 45, Dad and Mom. Dad doing a selfie. Let me tell you something. I won't do selfies. 44. Here's Gerald getting him a selfie on. Now, Gerald will do a selfie in a minute. Now, buddy, he sent it. Now, this one here I liked, okay? This is number 43 because this one here, whoever he's looking over at, he's just not buying the story they're telling. Not knowing. He's saying, no, they got to be something else to this now. He's looking over, I know Gerald. I love this picture because I can see him. Here's one 1940. Here's 1940. Here's number 42. Here's number 42. A young kid, just a young kid from Elk Park, North Carolina, green as can be, getting set out to see the world in his Army picture. Here's one, and I told you earlier, number 41. I'm not trying to leave any kid out. Here's Alexa and Pop-Pop. And the reason I want to bring up Alexa and Pop-Pop for a reason, okay? My sister Sandy, we call her our sister, okay? My mom and dad adopted her, and I don't have time to go through the entire story, but Sandy's mom and dad died. And my dad went through everything he could. Now, that's my mom's side of the family. It didn't matter what side of the family you are. Allens, Pritchards, Murdochs, McGuire, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what side of the family you was on. And on my mom's side of the family, her brother died and his wife at different times, long story short. And I like for Alexa and PJ to look at this and think about this morning. We don't know what would have happened if Dad wouldn't have moved to Northampton, Pennsylvania, 775 Almond Road, and Dad would have had to run Pete off a dozen times. Pete, you know. There's Pete hanging around. But see, Sandy wouldn't have been there to meet Pete. And Alexa, you wouldn't be here to have a picture with Pop-Pop. But most of all, Sandy knows, my sister, what Mom and Dad did, what Dad did to get her adopted into our family. And make sure Sandy was never treated different than Lee, Maud, Jerry, or myself. Never one time. She knows it. Alexa, That's a beautiful picture. And here's one I had to throw up. We're going to go past 10, Emily, if it's okay, just a little bit till I get done. Number 40. Okay. Is Gerald, that's Jagger. Jagger's a grown damn man now. Excuse my language. That's Jagger. There's Gerald. Gerald, get in the camera now. There's Gerald and Jagger. This one's sweet to me. Number 39. Dad liked to sing the hymns. He liked to go on Sunday night when he was down there in Florida, little community center, and that's his first cousin, Linda. Now, see, Dad is one of the youngest kids, and Neen was one of the older kids. So Linda, Jimmy Pritchard, these kids were real little when Dad was just a young man, and they're very, very close. There's Linda coming down from Sarasota to go with Uncle Gerald to sing on Sunday night. And always something. Here's number 38. Now, Gerald got them glasses down the tip of his nose. Mom said, Gerald, do you have to wear them right on the tip of your nose? So there's Dad with the glasses right down on the tip of his nose, reading his hymnal so they can sing on Sunday night. Here's number 37, Dad with his Make America Great hat on. Okay. This one's special because this is on Dad's Facebook page. And number 36, my sister, my dad really pushed my sister, all of us kids, but her in politics, number 36. This is on TV. They got a screenshot on TV. Sorry, it was CNN, of my sister at the Republican National Convention in Cleveland as a delegate. And that's her right there. That's a very proud moment. Here's number 35. That's Mom and Dad. They're sitting on the back porch there in Florida, and now Mom's telling him something big, what she wants done probably, and Dad's doing this. And he don't know. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Anyhow, here's a good one. Number 34 in the kitchen. There's Dad. That's my son Brian Keith. That's full name. I'm going to tell you, Dad called him Sam. Now you're going to ask, how in the world did you get Sam out of Brian Keith? I'm not going the distance on that. I'll leave that for another day, but he was always Sam. Brian Keith's the first grandchild. Now, my dad worked very hard when we were kids to try to get us to a point in life. But he always promised, and I say this with love, that he's going to build a pool out in the backyard. He's always going to get a pool out in the backyard. Well, Brian Keith is the oldest grandson, right? Oldest grandkid, not son. He's first grandkid. He got big enough to say pool, and next thing I know, there was a big old bucket backhoe in the backyard digging a hole, an enormous hole for a pool with a heater, because he said pool. And then he said tractor. I think one word he said tractor. And my dad went out and bought the biggest, not a tractor, but the biggest lawnmower. And he lived on a piece of property, had a lot of leaves, and he bought this enormous leaf vacuum to go on it. And there's pictures somewhere with him and Sam riding that tractor that Brian Keith called it the tractor, vacuuming up leaves at 775 Almond Road. There's Dad, Mom, and my son Brian. Okay. Dad always made sure, number 33, Dad always made sure he got Mom a car. Now, there was a little bit of an argument because they're a different generation, folks. He was good. He's been good to Mom, but he's a different generation. He needed, he got Mom a car. Now, Mom would try to get her 2 cents in it, and they'd maybe butt heads a little bit on the car, but this is the last car he bought my mom, a Jaguar. And that's it. Here's one of my favorites, number 32. Here's Lee. Lee in the picture, Lee in the picture with my dad in Florida. This is one of my favorites there in Florida there. Lee went down there. Here's one, number 31. Let's go into 31 now. Here's Gerald, Mart, Phyllis, Red. I got to say it like that. It's no disrespect. They're from the mountains, North Carolina. God love them. So let me get back. There's Gerald, Mart, Red, Phyllis, Red, Luther, Mom, Dale, and John. There you go. That's just good country people sitting in the living room. I'm telling you, just good country people. I miss you, Uncle Dale and Uncle Luther, very much. Here's one, number 30. The one time during the summer when my mom was going through her chemo treatments, they were both feeling good enough that I got the opportunity to load them up and take them to Cracker Barrel. Mom wanted to go to Cracker Barrel, so this is the last time I got to take my parents out, just two of us, just me and the two of them, and we went to Cracker Barrel. So here is a good one I love. Number 29. Here's Maud. Here's Maud, Keith, my brother-in-law. Man, my brother-in-law, Keith, he has been through it, folks. Now, Dad has been good to Keith, but Lord, Keith paid for it, son. Don't you think? Keith is one of the greatest guys I ever met in my life. Woo, Gerald Pritchard, rough on Keith. All right. There's Mom, and there's Sally, Maria, and Maud Annie. Now, let me tell you a story, okay? And these, I told you when we started today, they're all going to be in love. So I'm up there 3 months ago or whatever, and Dad's feeling good. And I say, Dad, Dad, Maud's going to come take you to Sam's today. I'm not going. Dad, Maud's going to come take you to Sam's today. Why won't you go? I'm not going down there. I get a buggy, and everything I put in that buggy, you don't need that. Put it back. I'm not going to Sam's. No, Maud, I love you. I'm just saying it like Dad is Dad. There's so many funny things. Here you go. This one here, folks, number 28. Okay, and the reason I pulled some of these, number 28, this is my first cousin, Buddy Murdoch. Buddy Murdoch, okay, Buddy Murdoch died not long ago of cancer. My first cousin, Buddy Murdoch, good man. Now, he's the oldest boy to my Aunt Phyllis, my mom's sister. And my Aunt Phyllis had 5 kids, and she is raising her 5 kids alone. All right? So I think Buddy's 14. All right, I think he's 14 years old. And now I'm going to say it this way. It may not be quote, so don't misunderstand it. And it's not that Buddy was a bad guy. He was a great guy. My aunt's trying to raise 5 kids by herself, and she may have been experiencing a tough summer. And she called, Gerald, can you do anything with this boy? Can you take this boy for a little bit? So Buddy's 14. He's starting to, grow up, wanting to be a man. And so next thing I know, Buddy Murdoch is living with us in Hackettstown, New Jersey. And Dad and Buddy spent a lot of time together. A lot of people might not remember that, but Buddy came to live with us. Let me tell you another one came to live with Cindy. Remember Cindy? Cindy Blossom? I remember when Cindy Blossom came to live with us. Anyhow, there's Buddy. Here's number 27. Let me just say it again. Number 27 real fast. There's Gerald. There's Mart. There's Phyllis and Rhett. Now, who is that? That's my dad's 3 sisters, okay? My Aunt Nene lives in Michigan. That's my dad's 3 sisters. Now, give me number 26. Julie, I don't know how you keep getting in here. But Uncle Gerald and Julie, when they get together, now Uncle Gerald likes a good selfie, okay? So there you go. Gerald's got that phone up, taking him a selfie. He don't care. Gerald, take a picture. This one is tough for me because I absolutely love my Uncle Boss. I love all of them. Number 25, okay? Number 25, this is his brother, Uncle Boss. Boss, the first one out of the Pritchard side of the family to die, and my Uncle Boss, a good man. There's his brother. Now, if you're out there and your boss's kids, okay, and I love you, and I'm not saying anything ugly, and Gerald say, that's his brother, Gerald say, Boss gets to telling those big tales. Now, Boss gets started telling one of them big tales. I'm going to tell you something. They loved each other, okay? My dad, politics, number 24, all the way. Trump Pence, all right? Showing you his pen. I want to throw this one in the mix, 23. I'm just going down the list. Again, Emily, if you're okay, let's go past 10 because I want this full tribute done that I'm trying to do. Number 23, this is the Pritchard family, and wish we could stretch it out a little bit there, and I understand. But on the far end and overalls is my Daddy Tom. That's Dad's dad. And the patriarch there of the family right in the front is Philo Pritchard, okay? And Philo Pritchard, I think he used to be a state senator. I'm not for sure. And that's his family there. And that's where my dad come from. Daddy Tom there in there. Now here's number 22. Dad saying hello to everybody. He's waving his hand on the porch. Okay. Yeah, howdy. And every morning, I mean, for the last 6 months, so many mornings, he would post that picture on Facebook and with his hand in the air and say, good morning, family, or something like that. If you're out there, here's number 21. This is a great picture, number 21. This is my Aunt Neen. My Aunt Neen is the oldest girl in the family, I think, and she's from Michigan, and this is my dad from Michigan. Okay, my Uncle Ted, love my Uncle Ted. I don't want to play 20 yet. There's a reason I want to leave 20 where it's at. Let's go the opposite way just a minute. Okay, let's start at number 1. This is my dad, the same right here. It's my dad. Number 1. That's the wrong number 1. I don't know what that is. We said that earlier. That's not the right number 1. So I don't know. There you go. Thank you. And we're going to bypass my dad. Okay. We're going to go to number 3. This is the last family picture we took. Number 3. Last family picture. Dad, and this is at Mom's birthday. And that's me. Starting to the left, if you know me, and Jerry in a tie, Lee, Sandy, and Maud Aney right there. Our last family picture we took. I want to show you this one, number 5. And this is where I'm the oldest, and I get this a little more. That's not number 5. I don't know where you're getting those out of an old tray or something, but that's not number 5. There you go. That is Daddy Tom. We called him Daddy Tom and Granny, and that's at Elk Park, North Carolina. You see that Cadillac emblem and that blue Cadillac? That's the first Cadillac my dad ever owned. My dad drove Cadillacs for years, and that's the first one. And the minute he got that blue Cadillac, we had to go to North Carolina to show his dad that Cadillac. I'll never forget that day showing his dad that Cadillac. Let's go to number 10, okay? This is number 10 is my dad and my Uncle Raymond Moses, P&M Supply. Remember I told you in the beginning how much I love P&M Supply. This is my dad and Raymond Moses at and this is what's called 1970. I don't know. We're in Diamond Hill, New Jersey in the living room. There's my dad. He's the one turning around looking. And that's the racetrack he bought Jerry and I for Christmas. And as you can see, Jerry and I, we're not playing with the racetrack at that time. Dad and Uncle Raymond were playing at the racetrack, but that's them at a young age. This is number 11. You can't have a tribute to Dad without his dog. All right, number 11. This is Frisky right there. That's Frisky. Frisky stayed in that house under his feet. That's Frisky. Frisky rides the four-wheeler. Frisky rode the golf cart. Frisky, Dad have to push him out of that truck to go somewhere because Frisky was going. There's Frisky, all right? And that's my dad's dog. What's a man without his dog? Now, this one I like a lot, and I hope in Michigan you guys are watching. This is a little different one. Number 12, okay? So many I couldn't get in. There's my dad. We're in right outside of Detroit, Michigan. There's Maud. Check out Maud. She's little. I'm in a tie right there, and that's my cousin Richard McGuire. Richard McGuire. We're in Michigan to visit my Uncle Ted, my Aunt Mart, my Uncle Boss, everybody up there in Michigan. This is a special one, number 13. Dad and my nephew Matthew. This is Jerry's son at his graduation. And I just wanted to show some of these because Dad did everything and went and did everything. Now, this one's interesting because I want you to put up number 14, and this is my Uncle Boss. But for some reason, and this is not the only one, there's so many. For some reason, if you told Dad you were going to take his picture, he had to throw his hat in the air. Now, I'm not for sure on it, but he had to throw his hat in the air. We don't know why, but he throws his hat in the air. Hello. This one just breaks. When I say breaks my heart, because this is probably the expression of love that I could not get out of another picture. Donna, you better watch this, and you better stay with it all the way. Number 15. This is my cousin, Donna McGuire. This one of them McGuire girls. And Dad loved Donna. And if you can't see in that picture how much he loved Donna, oh my gosh, look at that right there. This picture, when I was going through pictures, showed an expression of love that I couldn't really find anywhere else. Let's go to the drywall contractor, number 16. Stay with me here, folks. I'm going to go past 10. Number 16, there is Dad down there, and there's myself. I'm over there far end, and I don't want to go through all the guys, but if you see me on the far end next to the truck, the other far end is Jose. Now, even family out there knows Jose because Jose was a fixture for 30 years. Jose would always slip off. Jose, I'm going to be right back. Don't you go nowhere. Come back, Jose, slip off. Now, I could spend for 30 years an hour just on Jose and Gerald. Okay? But the guy on the left, I just want to tell you something. I think almost every Friday, my dad would sign Jose's check at the office and say, this is the last check Jose will draw out of this office. But he drew one for 30 years. Every week, it was the last check Jose will get out of here. So I just wanted to go with that. All right. Here's number 17. Here's a bunch of the guys with Dad. That's drywall, gypsum mud there. That's joint compound. That's a bunch of the guys right there with him at that time. Let me go to number 19. Okay. I like this one. My son put it up the other day, called it a gem. Okay. And that's not all the grandkids. That's just early on. Look at the Dole Kemp sticker, folks. My son. That's my son holding the Dole Kemp. The little curly-headed blonde next to him in the red and white stripes is my daughter. Ashley, Jerry's daughter. Matthew and Anthony down there, my mom and dad. And as I told you, he taught his kids how to vote Republican, why they vote Republican, and the rules of being a Republican before those kids knew their ABCs. Let me get to a couple more. I gave you the others. I'll give them to you. Emily, you've done an outstanding job. Let me see if I can get it to a couple I haven't used so I can close this up this morning. And I'm going somewhere with this, and I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you're enjoying it, not being sad, enjoying it. I really do. Now I sent you some pictures, and I want to do them in the end. Do you now have 62? Do you now? That's my dad, my Aunt Mark. You have 63. That's my dad, my mom, Sal Garcia. Sal Garcia. And look at him smiling. He found a camera, and what is he doing? He's singing gospel music on Sunday night at the community center. Do you have number 64? There they are, Sal Garcia, Linda, mom and dad. Give me number 65. This is this young Army kid up there in the uniform. That's a young boy. There's Granny. That's his mom. There's Uncle. There's Daddy Tom. That's Aunt Red out in the beginning there. Aunt Red, you need to listen to this. I always grew up thinking you was the most beautiful Pritchard I ever seen. I know I'm in trouble now with all of them out there. I thought it was me, but there's Aunt Red. I think Aunt Phyllis is there. I'm sorry. I knew I was going to get in trouble. And there's my dad. Here's the one I didn't want to lose a minute ago, number 66. We have him on Maud Aney. And Maud, I'm sorry I didn't get yours. I guess, as you can see, there's Lee. Okay, and I'm so proud of that picture. And there's my dad and Lee. Okay, and I'm going to find Maud's picture and get it up tomorrow just to show you. But there's so you can see his two daughters. That's on her wedding day, Dad and Lee. But now when Maud Aney got married, it was so funny because when the first song, I'll tell you in a minute, that I remember my dad teaching Jerry and myself, Maud Aney's getting married, and they do the father-daughter dance. And I wish we had the video. So my dad goes out to the center of the floor to dance with Maud Aney. And they're dancing to a really nice song, father and daughter. And it's about 30 seconds, if that much. And it was set up, and all of a sudden the DJ broke into Rocky Top. Rocky Top. You'll always be home sweet home to me. And there's Dad and Maude dancing to Rocky Top. I'll never forget it. And Jerry and I know the first song he ever taught us, I think it was published 1968 or something, was Rocky Top. So anyhow, there's my sister and Lee. And I want to close, and I want to close with a couple pictures. I told you about the church steeple. Go to 59. Number 59. Actually go to, I'm sorry. I go to, I have 50. Did I send you 59 and 6? There's a first 60 where it's a brick wall. Do you have that, or did I not send those? If I didn't send those, we'll be okay. Okay. There it is. That's that 60. Yes. That's Hephzibah's children's home. That's the entrance. Okay. Hephzibah Ministries. Okay. And that's in Macon, Georgia. Give me number 59. This is number 59 now. This is a gymnasium at Hephzibah. Now, Hephzibah is children's home. They built homes for orphans. Boys' homes and girls' homes would sleep 16 per home. They built a single pregnant woman's home for pregnant women, a home for pregnant women that didn't want to have an abortion, that needed somewhere. Okay. So they built a home for mothers that didn't want to get an abortion, that maybe couldn't stay in their home and got put out to live. The Elizabeth House. I think it's the Elizabeth House. And they built this gymnasium. I'm going to say roughly, and this is not a joke, I think my dad in all the projects there might have $175,000 invested there in people. And that's just one, folks. That's just one place. That's not all of them. That's just one. And I'm not saying that to brag that my dad was able to put $175,000 in this praise, but that's who he was. Even I got stories. Oh God, I'm going to come back and tell you stories like you would not believe one day. But this is just one place, folks. Kids, pregnant women. It didn't matter if they were black, white, Hispanic. It did not matter. Didn't matter. Kids. Now he can give me hell. Oh, I'm gonna do a damn show on just him giving me hell one day. He could give me hell, but kids. And this is just one of where he has been. And you all out there have the stories of Papa, Uncle Gerald, Dad, friend that helped you one day, that nobody knows the stories but you. And this has, I never forget where I live in Georgia, right? And Dad believed you had to go get people started to work. Long story if you don't understand the construction industry. You had to meet them and go get them started. So I'm living in north of Atlanta, Kennesaw. Macon's not around the corner. Dad would do one of these homes. Call me up, Brian. Run down Hephzibah in the morning, get them guys started. What do you mean, Dad? It's 3.5 hours. I've got guys coming. They're going to be there. And somebody's got to get them started. Now, he's in Pennsylvania. I had to drive to Macon, just get the guys started. I've been to Hephzibah many times. Jerry worked at Hephzibah. All of us know that. Now, there are two pictures. And I think that's it right there. And I think I'm going to close here because, I think I'm going to close with number 53. There's two pictures, 53. Give me 53 up there if you don't mind. See that little baby sleeping? And I'm going to close. This is not sad. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. I'm saying that to me. And, I haven't had a whole lot of pictures up of Jerry. All right. Probably could do my own segment with Jerry. All right. And let me see where it's at. I had it here earlier. Give me number. I'll find it. Just stay with me. This is my close, and you're not going to want to leave without this close. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hold on. I know I have it. I know I sent it to you earlier. I could have sworn I sent you this picture, and I know it's there, and I know we put it up earlier in the day. Did we not give it a number? Yeah, Emily, I know when you go through at home, she just has a bunch of numbers, so she not always knows which one I want. There was a picture of my dad and my brother in the hospital, and I know we used it like right there, number 20. Give me number 20. All right. And I don't do this to, end with my dad in a hospital bed. My dad in that hospital bed, he's got the biggest smile he could have. This is last Thursday, okay? And this is my brother, Jerry. And the reason I didn't put a lot up at Jerry, not because I didn't have them, but this is one. Jerry, I love you, Jerry. Dad say, Jerry go like fighting fire for 2 days. I don't know what happens to him. Jerry go like fighting fire. Fighting fire. Then I don't know what happens to him. So I think you could tell through the pictures, I had a loving relationship with my dad, but it got contentious. But I wanted to close here because Dad would say, Jerry would go like fighting fire. And Mom would say, Gerald, I don't want to hear it. He's just like you. Now, why in the world would you preach about Jerry when he's just like you? So, the only member of my family that got to go see Dad for an hour, they dressed him all up, was Jerry. And then they told him the virus was too dangerous. It was too dangerous. That he had been exposed for an hour and he had to go. And they had him all suited up. He's holding Dad's hand. Jerry got to FaceTime him. They held the phone up and Jerry got to call me and put him on FaceTime. Okay. And when he put him on FaceTime, he got to call me and put him on FaceTime. And Dad said, I got my boys. Got both of my boys right here. I love my boys. All right. And we all had a special relationship with Dad as the oldest, and then Lee 2 years young, Jerry 2 years younger, and then Lee 2 years younger, and Maureen 4 years younger than Lee. But so we have different time periods and we have different things we remember, and we all have great relationship stories. But my dad, let me just say this, the last conversation I had with my dad, okay? The last time he was able to open his eyes and have a conversation, I FaceTimed him. And he said, you're the oldest 3 times. You're the oldest. You're the oldest. He'd say, you're the oldest, Brian, and I love you. Then he would say, we didn't always get along, but I love you every day. Then he'd say, you're the oldest 3 times. And he told my wife, Lisa, how much he loved her. And he said, Brian, we didn't get all along every day, but you knew every day I loved you. And you know how much I love you, Bud. And that's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for, I love you. I was looking more for Bud. Because when I was younger and Dad worked the living what out of me, 6 days a week, church on Sunday. But when he worked the living daylights out of me, and he knew I was ready to crack. I mean, I can't tell the stories. You would never understand. Dad worked me, man. And when he knew how hard I worked, and he knew I'd had it. He'd say, I know you work hard, Bud. Bud, I know you work hard. And that was I love you to me for years. And he told me that. Now, Sunday night when we had to make a decision, our family, this is not sad, folks. Don't get sad, okay? Sunday night when we had to make a decision, go ahead and take that off the screen and let's put the family picture up, number 3. Sunday night when we had to make a decision and I was on the phone with the doctor and my sister, okay, I asked that doctor, I said, can Jerry come back in? No, can't come back in. Absolutely not. I said, can my aunt, his sister, can my dad's sister, Phyllis, can she call and you lay, dad's unresponsive. Can she call and lay the phone next to his ear and let her sing to him? We can do that. So Dr. Goodwin, thank you very much Sunday night, because for all the things that we could not do, compassion I know I felt from you. So thank you. So she said, we can do that. So we got to suit up and go in the room because of the virus. We got to suit up and go in the room. It'll take a while. We'll take his phone and call. So my sister Lee got my Aunt Phyllis on the phone and said, you know, we want you to sing to Dad. All right. So I didn't know what was happening. I'm sitting on the back porch and a little while later, 20 minutes later, Dr. Goodwin called me and she said, Mr. Pritchard. And I said, yes. She said, your Aunt Phyllis just finished singing to your dad. And it was so sincere, folks. It was so sweet and so precious. So I'm talking about our healthcare workers. They're in this now. It was so sweet and so precious. And she said, would you like for me to lay the phone next to your dad's ear and you say something to him? I wasn't expecting that. I said, yes. She laid the phone next to Dad's ear. And she said, don't be in a hurry. Take your time. I got to tell Dad who all to go say hello to. I gave him a big list. Dad, you go see Benjamin Carver. Dad, you go see Granny and Daddy Tom. Tell him I said hello. Dad, will you go see my Grandma Allen? Will you find my Grandma Allen and say hello? I gave him a big list. Can you go find my cousin Cliff Pritchard? Can you go find Buddy Murdoch? Oh, I gave him a big list in his ear. Dad, will you go find him and say hello? And if there's any way to send me a message to let me know what Hallelujah Square is like, please do. Some morning you'll meet me down at Hallelujah Square. Oh, Lord, I can do an hour on all the inspirations he taught us, right? So when I got done, Dr. Goodwin said, who else do I need to call? Well, she knew the whole family, and I said, well, call Lee, and then call Maud, and call Jerry, and call Mom. So she called Lee. Sandy, I'm sorry. I got to apologize. I love you. I hope you're not upset with me. I really do. I hope you're not upset with me, Sandy. That's just come to mind. I don't want to do anybody wrong. She called Lee, Maud, Jerry, and Mom. That's the best we could do that night. Dr. Goodwin, thank you, because I felt compassion. So there's Dad and the whole family. Sandy, you're in there. You're in that picture. And I'm sorry. There's Jerry. Jerry, mean as hell when he was a kid. Still mean as hell. They came in the hospital and said, you got to leave. The rule says you have to leave. And I think my dad said something to Jerry. He said, Dad said, Jerry, you broke the rules your whole life. Don't break them now. There's Lee. Lord, the stories I could tell, Lee. I think I'm going to come on here. Maud Aney. That Maud Aney. There's Sandy. Had to run Pete off, didn't we? There's Mom and Dad. I'm going to do another one of these, and if you want to add to it and do it, because I'm telling you, it's an American story. It's a boy, a kid that I didn't even get in the shrubbery in Uncle Hill. I didn't get into Dad driving a shrubbery truck up Northeast, how he found the Northeast. I didn't get into how Uncle Hill was the roping. And if you don't know what roping is, he was the roping king in the Northeast. I didn't get into how Dad found the Northeast. I didn't get into how Joe Green and Bobby Gano and Sam, what's his name? I didn't get into how them boys said Dad just got out of the Army, and them boys said, Gerald, get in the car. We're going to Northeast. And Gerald climbed in. I didn't get into any of that. I didn't get into Staten Island. I didn't get into our customer base, our Jewish friends. I didn't touch nothing. I'm telling you right now, this is an American story. I've done an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm not going to stop. We're going to put the book out. We're going to put the pictures out. And the way it ended, and the time it ended, and where we're at today, COVID-19, the coronavirus, it's serious, folks. It's serious. God bless. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thank you, Emily, for staying over this morning. I appreciate it. Emily, while everybody's listening, thank you. You did an amazing job trying to find all those pictures because I sent them all wrong, and I want them to know out there you did an amazing job. Hey, folks, I'm back here at 8 a.m. Tune in for a little politics. Take us out of here, Emily.